your trading account is a ticking time bomb. Why do I say that? Because I've been in the markets for 30 years and I know that the stats that say that 90% of traders fail is true. And most of the people lose their accounts big time. And I'm going to talk about why that happens and how you can prevent that. So, the first thing you got to realize when we talk about our accounts being a ticking time bomb, let's just think about GameStop, right? The big old get rich. They even made a movie about it, GameStop, a stock that didn't even make sense, but everybody went in on it because they wanted to hit the home run. It was the big one. It was gambling. It was exciting. And the truth is, most people lost money on that. And so there's a lot of thrill. It's a slot machine. It's, oh, I want to get out of my financial pain. I realize that there's a lot of financial pain involved in life. We've got inflation, everything's so expensive. People go to become traders because they want a way to escape that financial pain, the same way they go to the casino to escape financial pain. They're one and the same. Now, not everybody does that, right? But the traders is the ones that I'm speaking to. If you're an investor, you put a few dollars in each week, that's different, right? We're talking about traders, people that want to go and get out of their situation with a few clicks of a button. They go in on GameStop, they go in on AMC, and they're out, and then they can retire. They go all in. You might even call it a YOLO. You only live once. Go for it. You've got the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Now, one of the big problems with that is even if you win it, let's say you make $1 million, more than likely you're already addicted to gambling, and so guess what's going to happen? You're going to do it again, and you're going to blow your account, and it's unsustainable. Just like people that win the lottery, statistically, they don't hang on to their money either. All right. And so it happens to anyone. It doesn't just happen to lazy people or poor people, but it happens to hard workers. It happens to people that, like me and you, people that want to provide for their families and they want to get ahead and they figure there's got to be a better way. And there's a couple reasons why that happens. And one is dopamine, right? And addiction. It's just like you got your social media. Boom, boom. I'm scrolling. Anybody on YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram Reels? Look, I'm not better than anyone else, but I stay away from that stuff like the plague because for one, it's brain rot. And for number two, it's addiction. I don't want to have anything to do with it. They're like, hit me up on Instagram. It's like, no, I'm not going on Instagram. Are you crazy? No. I'm not doing it. The other thing about social media too, and I'm staying on point here, it's like an echo chamber. Everybody's like, get rich. You see all these images of people getting rich, traders getting rich. If you're in the trading space and you're watching those videos, get off, start getting real education. Drop the brain rot, right? Drop the brain rot. Understand that it's about as addictive as your desire to get out of the rat race through pushing a few buttons and going to the casino, hitting the dopamine, having fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if that's what you understand, but it's kind of like, a meme stock or a crazy trading strategy. It's kind of like a sugar rush, right? We talk about addictions. You get your candy, you eat it up, and then instant spike. It's like a drug, and it is a drug. And it's also suppressing a deep pain that's deep inside, which is we want to have the life that we want to live. We want to have time with our family. We want to have freedom to do the things that we want to do. And I totally understand that. And that's why I got into it. But the reality is that the lottery ticket mindset feels like control, but it's really an illusion. That's the truth. It's an illusion. And it's like smoke and mirrors. it's not going to work. It's not sustainable. And that's why we have brokers. That's why we have casinos. And I was actually just talking about this with my son. He's like, oh, yeah, we should do sports gambling. And I'm like, you know what? People can make it. I was honest with him. But I said, you've got to win 60% to be profitable. He's like, no, you only got to win 50. And it's like, no. They take the broker, right? The casino. ESPN, who's doing a sports betting thing, they're taking their cut, right? And so let's think about the stats of traders and how it usually pays off. The stats are that 70 to 90% of traders lose, and 40% quit in a month, usually because they take a losing trade, and only 13% last 3 years. But here's the crazy stat of me being a coach for so long and seeing how people persevere in the midst of failure. And I salute these people, but at the same time, it's sad, and I feel for you. Some traders have continued to stay in the game and have lost for 10 years. I've met traders that have lost for 20 years. And some even longer than that, and they're still trying. And I got to give them credit, but it's almost like that casino addict that's been going to the casino and throwing their paycheck away for 20 years in a row. I'll never forget the first time I went to a casino. I was in the Army, and they had, in the stateside, they didn't have a lot of casinos back then. It was Vegas and a few other places in the 90s, and now it's more readily available everywhere you go. But the first time I was in this casino. It was in Germany, and I remember seeing people go in, lose all of their money, and then I saw people come out of the casino, go to the ATM, empty it out, and take everything out and put it into the slots. And I remember as a very young person thinking, that's insane. And when I say young, I was 19. I thought, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm not going to do that. And I spent a couple dollars and I quit. But you know what? I'm not any better than anyone else because I did do it. I just didn't realize it. I did it with trading, right? It's different, but it's not, right? I did it with trading. I didn't know that I was doing the same thing, the thing that I said that I was never going to do. I did it with trading. So I'm going to give you a quick little story here about Alex, right? He's a guy, and we'll use him as a demonstration, right? And see if you can relate to Alex. Alex opens his first account, and he makes a trade, and he doesn't know squat. Right? It's almost like going up to the roulette table and putting $1,000 down. And he makes it big, and the trade goes wild, and he makes money. He's so excited. He's like, this is it. And then he does it again and again. And he's like on a roll. And the next thing you know, he's loving life. He's like, this is it. I found my way out. I finally made it. This trading thing is too easy. And he's right. It is too easy of what happened to him. It's not right. And so he chases the hype, bigger bets, and he wins again. And it keeps climbing. But guess what? He's a rookie. So he's got no plan, no rules, and the ticking time bomb. Tick, 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 tick. The time bomb is waiting. Have you ever been on this explosive time bomb? Well, guess what happens next? I don't even think you have to guess. But the big loss hits. He starts to panic. And if he didn't wipe himself out, he's doing revenge trading, or maybe he reloads his account and he's going at it again. And the next thing you know, 80 to 90% is gone. And so I'm using Alex as a name, but this has happened to me. Has it happened to you? Let me know. And when it happened to me the first time, I was so devastated because my personal example, and I'm using Alex. Why did I use Alex? I'm being silly. I should have just said me. Alex is gone. He's fake. It's me. When I did it, I took a $50 account, right? Because you might have heard my story. I grew my account to 30,000. I took it out and then I invested it into a business, right? I grew it over 4 years, invested into a business, but then the business didn't work out. So I went back in with just a mere $50. And I took that 50 and I grew it into $3,000. Now, the thing is, I had trading and investing experience because I grew it to 30,000, but I had never had actual trading. I was an investor. So I did the difference. I started as an investor, then I went to a trader. Well, that's the thing is after I hit my big loss, it hurt so bad. Like I didn't realize that I was like damaged, but I was in my mind, I'm thinking, I did this once, I can do it again. I made $50 going to 3,000. I can do that again. Right? Well, it's just like a gambler in the casino. They run the slots with 50 and they go to 3. Can they do it again? Yeah, but how long is it going to take? Is it going to cost you $1 million to get there? I don't know, but I kept thinking. But you know what happened to me also after that is I literally couldn't win. I was so depressed. I just kept losing and losing and losing. And I went into a massive hole and I ended up with everything gone. And so rather than having a plan, figuring it out, I just wiped out. And so I'm here sharing right now. I'm sharing my story. I'm sharing this mindset. I'm sharing that you're a ticking time bomb. And just like I was a ticking time bomb, I'm sharing this because I'm trying to make an intervention. Because you don't have to make the same mistake that I made. You don't have to do it, especially if you're watching this video. So don't make the same mistake. I'm hoping that you're watching and listening and pay attention because right now I'm going to share with you what you can do, right? So we have to shift our mindset. Shift your mindset from that of being the get rich quick dude, get rich quick gal, to the casino, right? It's possible. And with options trading, you're essentially an assurance salesman. That's when you sell options, you're selling insurance, you're the casino, right? We've got to change our mindset. This is so important. I was just watching Jim Rohn. You know, I'm always trying to educate myself, always. I'm reading a book. Look, I'm reading a book right now. You can't see it because it's green. I'm always reading. I'm always educating. Doesn't make me better than anyone else, but I'm always trying to get better. So I watched a Jim Rohn, and he said, the number one way to turn your mindset, to turn your life around is to get a better philosophy. What you believe about life. What you believe about life. Stop complaining. Stop blaming all the things in your life because you don't, the things that you're blaming are the things that you have to work with. It's your tools, right? You got 2 hands, you got a mind, and yet you're blaming all the circumstances all around you. But why are you doing that? Because that's all you have. I learned that from Jim Rohn. It was really good. So we have to shift our mindset as traders that we're not going to be the gambler, but we're going to be the casino, and we can do that, right? So let's think about the casino. They don't care about one trade because they have what is called an edge. So we focus. This was the game changer for me, right? This was it. I'm like, wait a second. I don't need to hit a home run. I don't need to get that massive adrenaline rush and that painful losses. I don't need to do that. No, the casino doesn't care about one trade. They don't care about one roll of the dice because they have an edge over time. And so my trading rules that I've developed is involved in selling options. It's about consistency. It's about discipline. It's about simplicity. It has to be simple. And it's about high probability. I'm selling high probability options each and every week. And that's all there is to it. It's the edge. I'm making money every single week and I'm playing the edges. But you know what I'm not doing? I'm not making a lot. But wow, oh wow, What you'll learn when you stop trying to win big, just like the casinos are rich because they're not making a lot, they're making a little bit. I'm making a little bit, but I'm making a lot because it's going over time, and over time. That's what I'm doing. And so we got to change our mindset. So here's a couple key steps that we can do to change our mindset. Number one, admit that you're an addict. Admit that what you're doing isn't working. Hello? Boom, boom, boom. Running your head into the wall much? It's not working. Look, I'm not attacking you because why? I literally have the hardest head on the entire planet. I've got a tough head for a reason so that I can go through walls and do a lot of stupid things. And so I've learned the hard way. And how many times did I have to learn? We should have a conversation sometime and see who's the dumbest. I doubt you'll be able to beat me. But good news, I didn't give up, right? I finally beat myself senseless. And then I was like, whoa, wait a second. I need to change my approach. It worked. So step one, admit that you need to change your approach. Is it working? Is it working? Right? Redefine your wins. My win now is small. My win is simple. My win is following the rules. My win is following the process. My win is growing small so that I can get big. Okay? So step number one is admit the addiction. Step number two, think like a casino. You got a small edge and you repeat it, right? Hey, you make $1 a day. And I've said this a lot, but you make $1 a day. Whoop-dee-doo-dah. People are laughing and turning this video off. Good for you. Turn it off. But you make $1 a day. Well, if you can make $1 a day, you can make $2 a day. You can make $2 a day. You can make $4 a day. You make $4 a day. You can make $100 a day. Think like a casino. You do the same edge every single day, little by little, and then guess what? You slowly increase the trade size. Slowly, you start out making $1 a day. I teach people how to take their accounts from 100 to 500. I teach them how to take it from 500 to 1,000. I coach people with $50,000 to $100,000 to $250,000, and I teach them how to create consistent income using this simple system, right? It can be you. It can be you. And so here's what we got to do with the thinking like a casino. We're on step 2. We got to realize that we have a small edge and we just beat that drum. Get yourself a checklist. What am I doing? I'm looking for high probability stocks. Boom. I'm looking for the trend. I'm looking to sell an option. I'm looking for a 30 delta. I teach all that, right? It's so easy. Boom, boom, boom. I teach it. It takes an hour a week. And then the third step that makes it all magical, and that is you have your stronghold, your fortress, your rule-following list, and that's managing your risk. Step 3 is managing your risk. If you can manage your risk, it's all good. Because that's where the time bomb happens. Because we forget. See, the reason why I would never manage my risk well is because I knew that if I managed my risk, I couldn't go for the monster. Like, oh, I can't do the monster because then I won't be able to get rich quick. Well, the monster would always take me out. How about you? So get your risk sizing, your position sizing, your risk management. Keep your trades small. I teach people 1% growth a week. It adds up extremely fast. As a matter of fact, one of my students went from $50,000 to making $10K a week, or no, $10,000 a month. And he's just consistent. We're working together. He's crushing it. And so remember, your account is a ticking time bomb unless you make some radical changes. Gambling is a mindset that's going to cause you to blow up. And the fix is a disciplined, system with consistent rules. I believe in you. You can do this. Keep reading on my channel. Keep watching my videos. Hit me up. Follow me on Substack. Get on my email list. Whatever. Telegram. I answer stuff. I'm here to help you. But let me tell you what the success is. Success isn't addiction. Success isn't a thrill. Success isn't dopamine. Success equals boring, consistent execution. Wow. Success is actually easy, but it is hard to operate under self-control. But actually doing the steps is easy if you work with me. So I like to make this a little bit interactive. So there's a comment section. Let me know let me know in the comment, what is the hardest rule for you to follow? And it's your choice. You can make this a real replacement income, your career. You can make trading your career. You can replace your income with options, or you can just have fun blowing up accounts. What do you want to do? But again, let the comments know, what's the hardest rule for you to follow? Let me know in the comments. I will comment on everything. I'll share some more stories. Let's have some fun down there. And also, I'm going to put a link to a masterclass that I'm hosting, that I teach people how this whole process works, because it's the simplest type of trading I've ever seen. It's the highest probability. It's just such a wonderful system. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.